Hello and welcome. I'm Saeri Wilde. I'm still admitting people here and there. We're going to get started here with quantum timeline repair. This is such a moment, y'all, because I've been getting the call really strong to offer this. And I thought it was going to be January, and I thought it was going to be February. So now it's March 25th, and it happens to be this day is the day that I gave birth to my daughter, Saeri. And it's also just this perfect timing with the wonderful, just miraculous connection I've had with Nova Ohm, who's on this call receiving today. And she has been initiating this community that I've had a vision for since 2016. So it's just been fascinating to see how a manifestor comes in and then all the things just start popping. And as intuitive and splenic as I am, like, I knew like all of this stuff, but there's that waiting for the right timing, and there's the way that you wait too. It's like, you don't know what the things that you're doing necessarily how they have to do with how things are going to happen, because I don't get to know how exactly. A lot of times I know the what. So this is a really just a blessed moment, and such an honor to have y'all here who are live. And we also have quite a few, as I say, that I can really feel the layers going out of people who are joining us in the quantum field through the recording, which for me is, I really recognize it's just as potent. It can be just as potent as being here live. So I really want to recognize everyone who's watching this through space and time. I want to describe timelines the way I see it, because it's like, this is an eternal moment, right? And then we have this experience of time in a horizontal fashion. So the way I see like an event, like my daughter's birth or a traumatic event in time, is that it's vertical and the timelines are like stacked like this. And so depending on where we are in our own process of becoming, of being, of receiving the fullness of who we are, we can experience an event as very traumatic or on the full range of the spectrum, or like at the highest end. And I don't say highest as in it's better, although it does tend to be our preference, at least the way we think about it, could be something just so wonderful, like a miracle. And what I'm saying hello to through this work is that it's actually the same event, whether it's like a car crash or, I don't know, like a transcendent orgasm, and everywhere in between. And the way I see the mechanics of this in our time and for our fractal family is what I'm calling us, the people who resonate with me and each other in these kinds of spaces, is well, the timelines are collapsing and they're merging, and everything's getting kind of bumped up. It's like the floor is coming up, and this work that we're doing today is to assist like the places in the timeline, like say on the lower levels, where we have an anchor Like we've made an anchor point there, and we're going to actually assist ourselves to raise the floor, to you'll visit yourself, and the way that you experience that is it can be like you're visited by an angel, and it's really cool because it'll actually be there in the memory. Like, oh yeah, there was something that was like kind of out of my awareness at the time, and it was you now going back and visiting. So I want to speak to a couple things that have been I've been shown in preparation for this. Let me get my little notes just in case my little right brain doesn't remember. Oh yes, okay. So yesterday I was I have some family in town for my daughter's birthday party tomorrow, and she's with her cousin. My daughter's with her cousin. They're playing at the park where my dad and stepmom are staying. And I was feeling into today, and I started to feel pleasure, just so much pleasure, actually. And I was reminded about, like, with this view of the mechanics of the timelines and the events, the energetic events being vertical, that when you're in the lower parts, and that's where these memories that we're working with are, right? When in those lower parts, pleasure can be extremely triggering in those zones. And so I want to say hello to that today, because it's like our minds tend to go, of course I want to feel good. And yet we have these markers on pleasure from our conditioned survival strategies, which worked, thank goodness, but that flag pleasure as danger. So I'm saying this to just give you full permission for your experience today. And we will be working with both, like, going into experiencing a little bit of being in that place in the past, but most of what we're doing is like being kind of set apart from it, staying anchored in your present reality and visiting that. So we don't want to like merge in with that, but hold space for that one, that probably very little one. Although it could be, you could be an adult. The memory that comes up could be, an adult memory, but still, just like that one might feel very triggered by pleasure. And so, we are intending to stay anchored in the you now and not merge with that, but just to say, like, zero judgment for that coming up. And also that you don't have to do this. Like, if you're feeling like you're not ready for this, or you're not wanting, or it's too triggery and you don't have enough support to integrate something like this, like, that is totally okay to, not do it. I do recommend that once you begin, you go through with it, however, and I'm here to offer you support and direction if you do find yourself in a fire in the next, couple days. I'm going to be offering integration labs monthly through the Continuum, which is this community that Nova has been initiating for me. And we'll talk about that a little bit more at the very end. I do have an invitation for those of you who are, here in the founding energy of that space. I also want to speak to that I'm not doing anything to anybody in this capacity. What I'm offering is I'm holding space and I'm guiding a process. that I have gone through myself many times and I've guided other people in. And you're invited as a sovereign being to navigate this. You can take the guidance or not. That is up to you. I'm not doing any kind of energy work, reaching through the field, poking at your timelines or anything like that. In my earlier years of being a guide, I came in as a yoga teacher. That was kind of my first incarnation in this life of being in service in this way. I was really struggling with like, well, I'm a healer, and I'm an energy worker. And yes, I am. And what I found over my path as I've matured is that the most effective way to do energy work or to read somebody or coach somebody is to actually just like guide them to do it for themselves and be with them. I mean, I think that's probably the most of what I have to offer is like my confidence in this process, my experience, and my heart. It's like I've walked this and I continue to walk it, and I can walk it with people. So as far as like doing that one-on-one, that those are agreements that we have to make, right? So I'm here offering this via this transmission to you. I have other ways that you can connect with me and the other wonderful practitioners that I work with to integrate really deep healing and growth. And like anything else, like that's more personal, like we'll need to talk. Hi, Angela. All right. We're going to get into the ceremony in a second here. I want to also speak to what I call in like the foundation of the kind of space I hold. I call it 100% space. And I have some guides I work with who taught me about this and trained me in it. They don't have bodies. And I call them the 4 pillars of the nameless light. And probably faceless light too. It's a very clean, neutral energy, and they are stewards of this space. So basically what it is that we invoke 100% space for our highest and best trajectory, which is the highest and best trajectory for all. And it's respecting that anything that's less than that 100% trajectory that we're on for whatever we're doing for highest and best, if anything's less than that, it can't be here. And that is absolute love. It is. We are loving those energies and those beings. We are loving ourselves by saying you're not congruent here. We're not playing those games here. And it's totally fine, whatever games whoever else is playing. Like if there's some little war being that's just like a pig in mud over, war and conflict and drama and abuse, like rock on, little dude. It's just not what we're doing here. And so as we do this work together, what can happen is those kinds of energies can get stirred up and released, and the 4 pillars of the nameless light help gather them and steward them to their 100% space. And some of them rise and join us. But it keeps a very clean, sovereign space for us here. So I'm going to take just a few minutes here and check in if anybody has any questions. And this is being recorded, and it will be shared within our community, just so you know. So anything you share here is going to be on there, but within this trajectory of 100% space. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
Hello, Saeri. my calendar is a little busy today, and
Yeah.
I'm going to have to drop out at around 2 p.m. Is that going to be in the middle of the thing? Because if so, then I will choose not to participate.
2 p.m. my time?
No, 2
Pacific?
p.m. in 40 minutes.
In 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, wait, what was the question exactly? Is that going to be what?
Well, as a sovereign being, I will choose not to interrupt everybody else's experience by dropping out while we're doing the timeline thing. So is the timeline thing 40 minutes or is it longer? Is really my question.
I don't know.
Okay.
I gave 90 minutes for the whole call. So yeah, we might still be in there. It's up to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? And I'll check the chat here because I just still have the Pascals in bed. All right. I'm gonna light some sage here and thyme for my garden. And y'all welcome are on the call. Words are merging as well as timelines. For those of you here live, during this, you can put things in the chat if you want to communicate with me. We'll keep an eye on that. I've got the window open. And you can communicate directly with me or with the group. So I think if you type my name first, it'll tend to just send it directly to me. All right. We're going to start with some orienting in space. Let me see. Actually, let me officially call in this 100% space. So welcome, 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 everyone. And I invite you to take some deep breaths and welcome yourself. And Pascal says people need to use the blue toggle to select only me if they don't want the rest of the people. Holy, holy, holy. How to operate Zoom. Thank you, sweetheart. It's feeling very quiet to me today. I just want to say that, you are holding the ceremony for yourself. And so anything you would like to speak into this space for yourself, hello to your ancestors, hello to totems, hello to different versions of yourself, hello to memories. Let's say hello to memory. And acknowledging and thanking these human experiences as part of our 100% trajectory for highest and best for us as sovereign individuals and for us as fractal family, extending out to the farthest reaches of forever. Hello, and thank you to the 4 pillars of the nameless light for being stewards of this 100% space for us today. Any energy that's not in 100% alignment with what we're doing here today, which is really no less than realizing heaven on earth. We love you, and you may and must go to where you are 100%. We love you that way. Thank you, and a hug. All right, so now we're going to orient in space. We're going to start out and we're going to go in. So this first part is we'll be each looking in our own space, about 4 points, one in each direction, in front of you, to each side and behind. And one at a time, you're just going to let your eyes rest on an object in your space. Breathe and report reality to yourself. So right now I'm looking at my daughter's ladybug wings. So that's what I'm going to be saying in my head and breathing. There's her ladybug wings. And then turning your head in another direction, let your eyes rest on another object in your space. Breathe and report reality. And another. And last one. Next part, we're going to take one hand to opposite shoulder. Look at that hand and stroke it from shoulder to fingertips. Breathe and report reality. So it could sound something like, I see my hand touching my arm. There's my arm. I feel my caress. Feel my shirt. And then switch sides. This is a great tool, by the way, if you're ever like spinning out or starting to feel really ungrounded or triggered or extremely depressed. All right. Go ahead and close your eyes or have a soft gaze. And we're going to set up a grounding cord that is specific for this practice today. So first, let's all say hello to the earth. Just send an energetic, hey mama, right into her heart, right into the core. And feel the reply, the response, the way that, as a sensation in your body, I'll say. And you may perceive it in other ways as well, but fundamentally, it is a sensation. And now for women, it's this point at the tip of your cervix. And for men, it's like in this same kind of space in your body. It's like kind of where you flex a Kegel. The spark of life point. Home in on that spot inside your body. And you can't do this wrong. So if you're worrying about, oh, I'm not sure if I've got the right spot, just imagine you do. And then we're going to go ahead and expand that energy out, the spark of life energy out like a tutu, like it's going to be like a disc that extends out beyond your hips to encircle your entire kind of footprint of your body. And breathe. And now begin to breathe as you extend that tutu, that disc of energy, all the way down into the center of the planet. All the way down. Just effortlessly moving through dirt and water and bedrock and crystals and lava, right to the crystalline core of the earth. Make a conscious connection. And then take some breaths here to breathe to and from the heart of the earth through this cord and the spark of life. Now, at any point in this process today, I'm starting to feel it right now, but you may feel that you need to move or breathe, or some sounds may want to come out of you. And just to know too that there are all these rules that float around in the ether that aren't really rules, that have to do with your breath being audible and like any evidence of you feeling something at all. And those are not rules here, especially. So you have full permission to move your body and make sound and breathe audibly and feel. And you also have the controls on your, like how you pace that for yourself. So, which is to say, like, you don't have to like go into the most intense thing. You can kind of titrate that for yourself if you like. And then go ahead and just open up your root chakra, like let that bottom chakra dilate to the width of your grounding cord, and invite any foreign energy that can go right now to just feel the earth just pull it from you. And she's just like, oh, thank you. I know exactly what to do with that. And if it's truly yours, you can't really lose it. So you don't have to manage this. You just kind of set the conditions here, like, hey, foreign energy that's ready to go and not here for this process, like return to source. All right, now we're going to actually bring that grounding cord up, 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 all the way, rise it up to your third eye. And take some validating breaths for the beauty of your existence in this body on earth. The helplessness of your perfection and timing to be here and now. So it's super common to get pretty floaty and maybe even forget what's happening. And that's totally okay. I'm here to just anchor the space and, bring you back in time and land the spaceship. Confusion can be a really good sign, a really good part of this process. As well as forgetting. So I would like to invite anyone who would like to share one word that they are receiving or came here with for the intention, the purpose of your presence. Now, if you don't have the bandwidth to do that, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna, you can just unmute yourself and share your word. And then we'll move on. And I see, yes, I've got Ursa typing peace. Yeah, you can write it in or you can speak it.
I just had a surprise word come to me.
Mm.
Grieving.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, thank you. Good one. I got full splenic chills with that one, which is very pleasurable for me. I call it the drugs I get for the work I do. Yeah, grieving is here. Thank you for speaking to that purpose, Sandra says.
Release.
Release. Holy. Love. I see from Angela in the chat. Ooh, integration, Halima. Aho. Desire, Jamie. Yeah. I'm a match with that one. All of these. All right. Thank you for sharing those intentions, those offerings. Oh, Sandy got titration. That's funny because like that word came up for me too, obviously. That's really cool. I really feel titration, well, all of these words, but titration to me especially speaks to grace. And it's like sometimes the desire to experience ourselves as whole and to be good is like, it can cause us to kind of like put our foot on the gas, like pedal to the metal and try to accelerate things. And sometimes that is just life is happening, right? It's like the pace feels just insane. And there's a paradox there, I find, with the experience of fast and slow, because it's like when things feel slow, conditioned survival minds trying to speed it up and then causes a lot of turbulence. And when it's just going fast and like our prayers are being answered, we're like, wait, slow down. So titration for me is like permission to be like, you know what, I can be at the pace, like my soul pace, and I can take this in just little bits so that it's actually stable for my nervous system. And we become so much more just advanced and like ninja like then, and find ourselves in situations that we used to like have like totally freaking out in, and then just like be watching ourselves like, whoa, I'm very different now in that higher rung of the timelines. I see Pascal said ownership. Okay, with that, let's just take some breaths into these intentions and the ones that resonate with you. Oh, and I do want to speak to grief a little bit because, it's like a lot of times we're shielding ourselves from truth and reality because we can feel the grief behind it. Like we have to pass through this field of grief, and we can't really grok how to forgive ourselves yet. And so we're holding it off. And I think that can be titration as well. And it can really come to a head, can't it? Where it's just like, it's time, you can't put this off any longer. If you haven't been titrating, especially. And that when it first hits an awareness, it's like, I used to call it like the carrot and the stick of like my star team, because it's like, first there's just like the beauty and the awe of it, and then there's like the grief that it's like, oh my god, like if I only had known this, or how could I have done that? Or, like when you see how you created all the things that you thought were horrible. And this is an opportunity to, well, what I see it is it's like a backlog of feeling, so, and we can often think that that grief is a sign that something's wrong or that we're wrong. And my suggestion is to just allow yourself to feel that, and even just imagine forgiving yourself, even if you're not there yet. I also see, oh, Pascal had deception come up as her first word. Yeah. Yeah. And hello to that. Mhm. I'm a 5/1 in human design, and I've gotten really cozy, really cozy with this thing about deception and projections. It's like, I know at the core of it that it's all self-deception. And, sometimes we're not ready to claim it. And thank goodness there's a heretic around to point it at. For me, I just use it to get clean. If I've got a charge, I've got it, and I work it. All right, what's next? All right, this next piece is we're going to be putting out a call for the memory that wants to be worked with today. So you may have an idea of that, and you may have no clue. I welcome you to just kind of surrender it either way, and just try this process out and see what comes up. And if you do end up just picking what you thought you would pick, that's totally fine. Maybe something else comes up as well. So we're going to work with some like clairvoyant imagery here to find it. So you're going to take your literal physical hand and we're going to, in a moment here, not yet, but we're going to be turning a dial or scrolling through your timeline like you're looking at pictures on your phone or something. Or if you're more old school and you want like an old TV channel dial or something like that, you can work with that. Whatever just kind of makes sense for your brain. It could be turning pages even of a photo album. So we're gonna just take a little tour, just kind of scanning through your timeline in the past and just kind of see what's, you might be, oh, there's this memory, there's that memory. And then there might be one that's, oh, that's interesting. Like that's funny that one's coming up. So you're just going to feel into and navigate on your own to let the memory identify itself. Does anybody have any questions about this part? Okay. So we'll just take a couple minutes. I'll just be doing my Ujjayi breath over here, and you can put anything in the chat if you have any questions, but just drop in to your body, come into this trance that I could feel you all in it in the beginning, and you may have kind of popped out with some of this more like talky stuff happening. So just invite yourself back into your trance. And use your physical hand, and you can have your eyes closed, but it's like you have a screen out in front of you that you're seeing, like scrolling or turning or flipping pages. Not jumping into them just yet, just looking at them. And the memory that comes up for you to be worked with might be one that's kind of yikes. And if it is, you have permission to just kind of back off of it. You're like, okay, I see you over there. All right, I hear you. And just breathe and stay grounded in your present moment for now. And also might be something that's like, really that? That little thing? And just trusting your guidance here. Each one of us has a team of aligned guides supporting us here. So there's a lot. It's a pretty big gathering, really. We have our guides for the space, and we each have our own guides. All right, just about 30 more seconds, and just trust yourself in identifying the memory. All right, we're going to be moving on to the next part here. So choose your memory, give it a hello, and let it be over there for now. In fact, go ahead and turn your dial back to the present moment. Flag your memory and turn it, use your physical hand, come on back. Okay. So we're going to start here by, I want you to touch in with your grounding cord and take some conscious breaths through that. And if you are feeling called to, you can also open your eyes and reorient yourself in space and time. And now we're going to open up our inner seeing and sensing to this circle of all the people here and your place in it. Like, we're literally a team. This is a rendezvous point, and y'all are about to go on a mission. Breathing validation into your rightfulness to be here and to be doing what you're doing and being who you're being. Your qualifications to facilitate this timeline repair in your own timeline, and your support, the immense support that you have. So go ahead and extend your fields in your own field for these guides here with you. And at least one of them is a future you. And I'd like you to invite that future version of yourself to show itself to you. Show yourself to you. And take in what they look like and what they're wearing and the expression on their face. Look into their eyes. Allow them to look into your eyes. And receive their message for you. They're coming with you. Any words of encouragement, of advice or suggestions, reassurance. Ooh, of gratitude. Yeah, really take that in. They're like, thank you for doing this. This is why I exist. And I'm here for you because I remember this. So you have this structure in this endeavor of the 3 points. You have the point of the memory, you have your present point, and you have your future point. And there's more geometry, but this is the basic trinity. So I'll allow a little bit longer to connect and communicate with this version of your future you who's come to accompany you. And along with this insight about pleasure being triggering, one thing you can ask, and it may have already been invited by your future self, is that they hold certain things for you. It's like if there's something that you suspect could be really triggering for you, that you just say, if something like that happens, would you take over? Or would you remind me of who I am now? If I start to merge, would you keep me in my body? All right, we are about to embark. So again, if there's any questions or concerns right now, I'm just going to allow a little pause here for anyone who may want to express. Okay. So from this yummy trance space, which is, everything's a trance of one kind or another. The space that we're in allows for a lot more information to be present without having to focus on it. So before we depart, I'd like you to send off, ignite a beacon for this moment in time, a marker. And I see this as an informing for yourself, and also, like a marker for you to return to. And it sounds off through your whole timeline. It's like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting like a relay race kind of vibe too, of like the baton has been passed at this point. So this thing is happening in this way, I declare. And I'm also hearing to acknowledge your future self doing the same thing for where they are, where they're coming from. And one has already gone off on the memory. That's how you found it. Okay. So with your future self and any other 100% space aligned guides on your team who are with you, and look, it doesn't have to be fancy, but maybe there's an owl flying with you, or maybe it's just you and your future self, or maybe you have a whole crew. Gonna go ahead and fly together and travel to the scene and arrive on the edge of it so that you're not in it. You're just standing on the edge and taking in the setting. Is it indoors? Is it outdoors? Maybe you don't even know. And just take in as much information as you can perceive from this vantage point. And you can also ask your teammates here who are on your team, to share anything they're seeing. Also, the cool thing about the 100% space is that, like they can be doing things that you don't need to be privy of. And you can just focus on your experience. Like you don't have to be a general for this whole situation, although you might be. So now go ahead and allow yourself to feel what this past version of you is feeling. Allow yourself to perceive it. And I'm getting like a kind of spelunking picture here from the guides, like to your team, like, okay, I'm going in and like I'm coming right back. So we're just going to take a minute here to feel as much as you feel, as much as you consent to feel. Consent to feel. Okay, so let your team pull you on back. And you can kind of dust yourself off. I am me. Feel your grounding cord. Sense your beacon. The next part here is to start to allow past you to sense you. So you and your team are just going to gently step in to the field and start radiating your presence. And this is the point where watch yourself, watch your past self perceive you in the way they do. Like they might kind of like look to the side or crinkle their brow or hold their breath or take a deeper breath. Or they might be like, dude, where did you come from? Ease into their awareness. And the way that this works for them is that it's gonna slow down and like stop time. Like I think of this old show, was it Out of This World, and that girl could like freeze time. That's what you and your team are doing. So that whatever is going on in the scene and other people who may or may not be there, your past self is going to have an experience outside of time in perceiving you. So now go ahead and stay with your feels and stay with your team. And it may be that you're supposed to, walk out without your team like right there next to you. So just trust yourself and you're going to go and make contact with yourself. And you may, pause a few feet away from them and breathe. You may say something. You may sing a song. And once you get their attention, say hello. Say who you are. Say why you're here. And anything else that past you needs to hear in order to receive this. And now invite past you, memory you, to share with you. You may ask them a question. What would you like me to know? What do you need me to know? Do you have a request? And listen, and you may be surprised. And then together, I invite you to inquire about this particular scene and what it is that the scene needs, this moment needs to be complete, to be all better, to release the anchor that it's been holding, because It's holding some very important piece for a very good reason. You may or may not receive that reason, but we're inquiring as to what is required for it to release this anchor to the highest and best trajectory that you are on. To join that trajectory. I'm going to give another minute here for you and your team, which includes your past self, to identify the essential actions needed in this memory. Mm. All right, and this next minute is to facilitate that action, whether it's something that needs to be spoken or someone else in the scene who needs to be addressed. Someone on your team very well may go and work with someone else in the scene. It may be to hold your past self while that is facilitated. It may be to support that one in remembering who they really are, what is really happening. It may be to pray over them, to shower them with gratitude for what they went through. It may be to help them forgive themselves or release another. So 1 minute from now, and we'll see where we're at. Mm. And you may just be letting it unfold and watching it like a movie. All right, 30 more seconds to complete. And this is a no space, no time healing, so a lot can happen in no time, literally. Mm. Okay, go ahead and complete the scene. Bless it up. You might circle up with your team, past self and present self and future self and whoever or whatever else is here with you, and have a moment. Like, yeah, we did this and we're super awesome. Yay. Mm. And embark on your journey, coming back to now. And then you can keep your eyes closed if that's where you're working, your eyes soft. But I just want you to touch your body. Just be like, yep, here, here. Still have boobs. Speaking for myself, of course. Well, this next part is we're going to go through actually pulling the energy out of the memory. I received this method from my colleague, Amy Harris. Those of you who have done the witness ceremony video know of her because she co-facilitated that with me. And Amy's main, what I'm required to say when I facilitate this is that I must emphasize that it works. And I think at least one of you has actually done this with me one-on-one. No, two of you have. So there can be a point in this where the energy peaks in your present moment and it can be very intense. So I just want to prepare you for that. And it will pass. You want to keep going because this works. Okay. So let's check in with your grounding cord again. The tutu plane that comes out from the spark of life at the tip of the cervix, or the equivalent space in a man's body, all the way down to the center of the planet, all the way up to the third eye. Say hello to the beacon that's on the past memory while staying where you are. You're staying where you are through this whole thing. We are actually beckoning that energy to join you now. Here's how it goes. On the inhale, you're going to turn your head to the left. Now I'm going to mirror you on the video. So if that helps to have the visual, you can open your eyes. I'm going to be turning my head to the right, but it should be your left if all is working out. It's an inhale to the left and exhale to the right. So go ahead and begin inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. And getting into a rhythm that's easeful, at least to start. I have seen people be guided to do this faster and more intensely. I had my own experience with it. I kind of forgot what I was doing and lost it when I first did it. Amy had to bring me back. And so I'm here to remind you to keep going. Inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. And now you can add as well. On the inhale, say to yourself in your head, what's mine is mine. And exhaling to the right, what's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. On the inhale, what's yours is yours. On the exhale. And this is pulling the energy from the other beings that you had agreements with to anchor that beacon in the past. So it's not abandoning yourself, not saying what's yours is yours past me. It's saying that to the others who are not on this trajectory. Bless their hearts. Keep going on the inhale to the left. What's mine is mine. Exhale to the right. What's yours is yours. Keep going. I'm going to give 3 minutes for you to stay with it. Allow the energy to peak for you, however it does. It's going to be different for each person. When it was happening for me, I was like, is it really happening? And he was like, yeah, it works. Inhale, what's mine is mine. Exhale, what's yours is yours. And keep going. Mm. We'll go one more minute. Calling in your completion here. No space, no time. All right. So you can do this for yourself anytime. You just want to set up that grounding cord from the spark of life. Find the memory on the dial, turn it back, come back to the present. You don't have to go through the whole journey that we did, and then do the breathing. I've done it before when I was like spinning with something and not able to sleep, and I fell asleep doing it. All right, now we're gonna do a tool from my psychic school called Big Golden Sun. So go ahead and clap your hands together, rub them, and get them hot. I can actually smell my skin burning when I really go for this. And then you reach up, and you're gonna envision a big golden sun above your head. It could be literally the size of the sun or the Grand Canyon or the universe or your house, whatever feels right to you. And you're just calling your energy back to you from anywhere it's been or thought it was going, to fill into the sun above your head and just feel it coming in. I like to call it in like a little kitty too, like, here, kitty, kitty, come home, energy, come back to me now, here and now. And when it's nice and full and juicy and yummy and heavy, go ahead and bring it on down into your body. You can poke a hole in it and let it sploosh all over you. You can pull it down. I highly recommend packing it in. Oh. Every cell, including your fingernails and your toenails and the soles of your feet and the tips of your little hairs. And your big hairs too. And let's do it again. Ooh, my temperature just went up. Energy, come back to me. Come home, come home, come home. Come back here, you little kitty. And when you're ready, bring it in. And go ahead and bend over and just dump any little bits ready to go down your grounding cord. Send some big ragged exhales of like, ah. Shoo, 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 shoo. All right. And let's dust off your aura. Say thank you to your team. Go ahead and picture our circle here too. And these are people that they're not all on this live call that we can see. So go ahead and acknowledge your own perception of the circle here. And then maybe like concentric circles expanding outward or inward too. Why not? And just, validating that connection with this fractal, receiving the gratitude for your presence here, and also offering that to the others. All right, our ceremony is complete. So we have 5 minutes till I said we would complete. I'm here to go a little over if anybody's, feeling that. I would like to open up the chat, and you can turn on your audio if there's something you'd like to say or share about what you saw, what you experienced. That's welcome here if you'd like some witness for that. Witness can be a really powerful way to amplify a healing. And I will just say that the continuum is this recording is going to live inside the continuum, which is this community that Nova has initiated for our fractal family. And it's a really unique space where we're calling our groups campfires. It's off of Facebook. There's no fucking algorithm. We are just creating it the way that we want. And there's like a bigger group we may all merge with at some point. But for now, we just really felt the clarity to begin here. And our sense is that there are 30 people who are founding this right now. We're officially going to be open in April, and we're offering to those of you who feel called to offer your presence in this this week and next week before we officially open. We have a paid in full offering for $122 for the rest of the year. This is a $20 a month offering, but we don't have the monthly open yet. So I don't want to give you too much information because y'all are so tender, but I want you to know that you are earnestly, with my full heart on fire, invited to be a part of this. And I am so grateful for you being here. And I'm here however I can be to serve you in the integration of what you facilitated for yourself today. And those efforts on my part are going to be inside the continuum. So I see Talia said, when I saw our circle and we were all looking at each other, I kept hearing, we made it. Like all of the ancestral bits and our very aware bodies of the current life and all of its layers and lightness and happenings. We are here. Gratitude and awake. Oh, sister, so resonates. I feel you. I'm like so hot right now, you guys. I'm getting into like fair person tomato skin zone. Ripe tomato. Oh, would anyone else like to? I see Pascal, mine is mine. What's yours is yours. Exactly what ownership was meaning for me. Yeah, I was feeling you there and I saw you smiling in your process. Yeah, there were some moments in there I could just feel you all doing your thing like all at the same time. So I'm like, I literally have sweat dripping down my arm right now. I wonder if you could see it. No. Oh, look, do you see that little stripe? Did you want to say something, Halima?
Yeah, I wasn't going to, but I'm feeling called because it's offering me a chance to express a bit of vulnerability, because the memory that actually came to me this morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was still asleep and I didn't even know what we were going to be doing. And it was from like just such a long time ago. Like I was surprised that it was still coming up for me, you know, because I've always thought, oh, that's just something that happened in the past. Like I'm already over it. But I'm starting to see the echoes of decisions that were made, and things that I was told, and how that has impacted so much of my life ongoing. And it surprised the hell out of me. And so I like what we did here, but I know that I'm gonna need to go back and like, there's more, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to share, it's my little bit of vulnerableness, because that's what I lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I lost. I lost that ability. I mean, it became like a crusty kind of mask shell, if that makes any sense. And so I just felt like that's what I needed to do just now.
Mhm, Thank you. Oh, sister. I see some chats coming in, and oh yeah, I want to speak to that. This word decision, it's like it's a slice, right? It's a cut. That's like what the word means, to decide. And I've seen with this work that what happens when we have an anchor like this, and you spoke to decisions, Lima, that you've made from that place. Each time we do that, it branches off another timeline. And I just recently became aware of these junctions of of timelines where it's like, whoa, and there's the highest trajectory. And that's like when we hear, like in human design, people saying like no choice. That's what that is, because you're eventually going there. And these split off timelines are like detours. So, and especially in a time and for a fractal like ours, that we are here facilitating the collapsing of all these detours into the one way. No, it's because it's not like a exact how, it's a frequency kind of trajectory that we're on. Yeah, we're really driven to complete and merge these old timelines. Let's see, I saw some pretty things that people are saying. Sandy said, this was intense. I feel grounded, clear, and light. Thank you. You're so welcome, sweetheart. I don't know, maybe she popped off already. And Pascal said the same for me, very intense and linked to plenty of synchronicities throughout the day. Yeah, it gets really nutty, doesn't it? Where you look back in the recent timeline and you're like, oh my God, it was like all leading here somehow. Like every little bit. So congratulations for making it. We did have some people like trying to like enter the room, like right as we completed too, which was interesting. It's like some people like, oh crap, like I'm trying to, and they'll get the recording. So I saw, let's see, Pascal said she cried a few tears and more may come. Yeah, good tears. Sandy feels Halima. She said, I've been with a similar kind of thread. Yeah. And Ursa says, thank you. And she's gone. All right.
Maymoon is here. Hey.
Hi, Beauty.
Hey, so that was amazing. Oh my goodness. I just got back from like the tax man. So, and it was all, anyway, it was incredible. I felt it was very emotional. I feel very angry still about just so much of, I guess the word is betrayal, just from, but I feel so supported here. And I just can't even believe like that I'm having this kind of experience, this timeline experience, and that you're offering this today, Saeri. And I'm grateful to you and Nova, and I can feel you guys. And I just feel so blessed to be like held in this experience and guided by a projector and feeling the manifestor. I just feel betrayed by manifestors, to be honest with you. It's very deep for me, and it's in the family. And I know we have to account for our own wounds for what they are. So this is like really incredible to have just stepped right into this after what I just went through. And I just, yeah, I'm here. I'm so grateful. And thank you. And thank you everybody for just opening up and allowing. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presence and your participation and your recognition there. I'm getting, full body splenic ringing as you're speaking, and just feels the blessing.
You, sister. Yeah.
That's
it. I also would like to speak.
Yeah.
Manifestor energy. I just want to hold the bigness
this experience that you had.
Mm.
I just want to hold all of it, whatever it was. As a manifester, we can hold the bigness of it, the incorrectness, the correctness, the impact, whatever it was. I just want to be in that and hold it with you for a moment. Mhm. Mhm. And I want to say thank you for the informing, whoever it was, however it was. I feel informed for them. Mm,
They're backing up right now.
And I receive it. Mhm.
Mm.
I receive it.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you, Blessing, for your honesty.
Yeah.
My God, thank you so much.
Mhm. That's the real deal right there.
Yeah, I'd like to share, and I'd like to thank for that big juicy pause too. That felt really great.
Mhm.
I was really surprised about the word that came up, and I was really surprised about the experience that came up, the memory that came up, and you just mentioning everything coming through and like lining up. Um, the person in my memory, I like knew as a younger person and now know now still, and idolize her and did then. And the betrayal was a feeling that I experienced acknowledging this memory with her. And I actually like just communicated with her this morning through Instagram, like praising her for how awesome she is. And she is awesome. And she is awesome now. And she, all four of us, her then, me now, her now, I
Mm.
feel helping me regain what I lost through an interaction with her. And I know that she lost a lot through a lot of other interactions too. But um, my higher self that I communicated with today was very different than the higher self that I've ever communicated with of myself before. So that was all really surprising and amazing. And I also wanted to say that like seeing this circle of us together was really beautiful. I'm a visual person, and it was orange and black, like kind of like a monarch with lots of geometry just connecting. And I felt very um, watery and wonderful through this experience. So thank all of you so much for being a part of that.
Yummy. Thank you so much. I've just been feeling you come in because it's like, you and I were kind of had this distant orbit, and then you just were like, vroom, like here. And I just really appreciating, yeah, your the word that's coming up is commitment. Yeah. And I don't even really know what I'm talking about. That's just what I what I sense with your presence. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm feeling ready to recommit to myself for sure.
Yeah, thank you. That's good for all of us. Oh, that's the beauty of this work, is it's like we just do it for us, right? And everybody else gets it. Like all of your ancestry. like how many times has this memory played out in different scenes, in different lifetimes in your ancestral lineage? You know, like you just completed that one. And, you know, like I said in some of the materials inviting y'all here, like this isn't a one and done thing for all of it, but I mean, it's a powerful point, you know, and certainly it can take out a bunch of other ones. Like it like, so you don't have to manually go through every single one. Sometimes it just kind of, it's like a black hole or something, just like sucks the other ones into alignment. You're so welcome, Pascal. Thank you. I feel the squeezing me so tight. I'm totally here for it.
I'm wondering if we have other, sorry, I can't even talk properly. I'm just so, yeah, so bear with me. Do we have any other 6 line on the roof on this goal? Because I felt like the 3 stage of my life in that moment. So, yeah, I can't even talk. I just, yeah, that'll come later. But yeah, thank you. It's just, yeah, it's just, I don't know if you are on the roof, but for me, I felt the support of me up the roof.
Yeah.
And giving so much love to the one that was, you know, before the roof. And yeah, it's really being able to see myself like the core and shedding the rest. And yeah, it's intense. So thank you.
Yes, we do have other 6 lines here for sure on the roof. And thank you for bringing that up and representing. I'm so grateful for 6 lines. Y'all have been just instrumental on my path. And then there's Talia is a 4-6. Yeah. She says the stages were part of her experience too. And she sat with her higher self outside of the planet and watched from space. Yeah.
I would like to share a little of mine if
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of share it a little bit in reverse, because I want to share what I was seeing during the what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. Because I went through some emotional stages, but the last part after I kind of reclaimed from the pain body and like was letting go of, you know, what was someone else's and accepting what was my part, it turned to like this sing-songy, like we were all playing patty cake. And they're like every soul in person was like the Russian nesting dolls getting taken apart, and they were their different versions of this painted, very childlike. And it's like, what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. And we were doing this like, like, so it totally ended on this beautiful, loving, harmonious note. And you know, like I could feel the codependency untangling. I could feel like the other people's ick being like, yes, that's yours, but with love, you know, and how to take that forward, you know, like what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours, and there's nothing, it's just harmonious. We're all just patty caking. And it was quite lovely to end on this happy space, and then waking out of that and feeling we were in a jailhouse courtyard. It was interesting, our constellation, like we weren't really there, but that's what I felt as we were coming back. It almost pictured it was this blank dirt, and all of us were like, whoa, okay, we're coming back and we're here, and we were smiling at each other and we're like, we can take this. Like, and I don't know if the planet or the Maya was like the jailhouse or whatever, but it was like, hey, it's good, like we're fine, we're here, holy shit. Like, yeah, my quantum repair was a total Bill and Ted, like, thank you future self. We went and implanted something in the timeline. And and I'm picking it up now. I appreciate it.
Got it.
But what hit really strong was, and this kind of ties with Pascal. I appreciate her share because it is bringing this forward. I saw my middle school self. The memory that came back was not a big memory, but it was like one of those cusp moments. It was right before I ran away. I was 13, and what I felt was myself, the higher self, and like just this circle of ancestors coming in and numbing me. Now, from 13, that last part of my third line phase was pretty difficult, very intense, and a very confusing time. So that what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine hit really hard too, because I was so like, what the fuck is this planet? And what is happening? But it was like I was being wrapped in this, like, you're going to be unmarked and things will be fine, but you have to go through this tunnel. This is part of you growing and learning and seeing. You have to experience this, but you're going to be fine. We'll see you at the other side. And the other side was me and everyone else back after. And that's kind of where the thank you future self, because I felt that numbing, like in my memories, it was this blanket of protection that I could feel throughout all of it. So like, it was kind of funny to witness myself here now doing this and be like, oh, I'm casting this spell on myself now to like protect my little baby Talia self so we can make it through. And it was cool. It was interesting to watch that's the direction that it went. Because I was, I tried to keep myself completely open to it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I can hear birds singing now.
I hear it too. Your birds.
Yeah. And reclaiming, I'm a tired breastfeeding mom right now. So it was really good to reclaim my little baby Talia, who's just bouncing off the walls, dancing. And be like, yes, give me. And I was sucking the sun in of her energy. I was like, okay, we still got that life. Coming home. Yes. Thank you guys. That was
reclamation.
Glorious. Release and reclamation. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. This is so like, yeah, just more of it. Boop, 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 boop. When so Wolf Pirananda, White Wolf Pirananda was our wayshower in the continuum, because we've had this kind of like pre-birth phase, and some Tulia's in there and Halima's in there and some other people for the continuum. And he's my shaman, and I actually went to work with him to begin a 3-part, he calls it the Rising Star. And I also did Cambo for the 3rd time with him. And a lot of it was just like presencing with my life and reflecting on who I am. And the main theme that came through is like, I am, and I'm totally getting that this is also our fractal. Those of us who are here now on the planet, we are like, because I first was describing it as like, well, I'm kind of like a spy. and then the word that came through for both of us was like scout. And it's literally like, we are here, like agreed to come into this lower density field because the rest of our people in our tribe are like off planet at the moment, because they literally can't survive in this density. And so we're here to assist the lightening up. Like that, like I was talking about in the beginning, that like we're moving the floor up, like the bottom is not it's the new bottom. The new ass of Earth. And we're actually, maybe I'm projecting this because I don't know that we all have the same role, but one of my roles is to actually, like sound the beacon when it's safe for them to come. And so there's the jail yard really resonates with me, because I think that's how it has felt for a lot of us. Like we're just like the only one. And that's what the continuum is it's like we're starting out in this virtual space, which has been grounded through, the connection with Nova, that she's, touch cognition and like actually has touched me, which was like so delicious, you guys. Like such a treat. Put it high on your list to get in this woman's aura and space. But like, so it's been grounded on earth, but we have this virtual space, and we're calling it, like, it's like a virtual campfire, which is what we're calling our groups, where we can start to connect and be like, oh yeah, dude, we are on a mission. Like, look at this circle. Like, we each have our part, and we're sovereign, and we have the soul agreement to rendezvous and perhaps move forward on earth. And the continuum are the people who are like, yeah, we're going forward with the mission. Absolutely. And like, I'm here to offer my support, offer myself and my presence, as well as receive the presence of these other people on the team. I saw Nova pop on, and I don't know, sweetheart, if you would like to say anything as we complete here. But if you do, you are welcome.
Hi, blessing. I just had to go add something to our master list for the continuum. I got all inspired and was like, "Ooh, let's put this on the list before I forget." I just feel so incredibly grateful to get to be a part of this, to get to experience you in this way, to get to experience the connection with all of these lovely people, to get to bear witness to the pieces that they shared here, to hold all the delicious vulnerability, the excitement that ran through my body as they shared their ahas. And the piece that I went and added was creating a campfire around this call.
Oh yeah.
So that we can continue this conversation, so that we can continue to keep unpacking this together and supporting each other and bearing witness to each other's experience in this and beyond. This is beautiful, powerful work within a beautiful, powerful community of people.
Y'all feel just that emotional depth and beauty that just like rolls out of this woman. Like, as an undefined solar plexus, I am just like, yes, please.
I had this beautiful meeting with my future self, and it was just so much peace and love and surrender. And I intend to meet with her more often. It's incredible. I often look back and see how far I've come, where I am now, but to see future me, it's like, and there's nothing to do except let go more and more. That's all there is. I got to experience myself. And it feels really amazing to have a sense of maybe how others experience me.
Yeah.
I just feel so grateful. I just feel so receiving.
Thank you. That is just, it's such a gift to me, and I'm just standing for that for everyone. of everyone on the whole planet and beyond. And it's like those people who can stand themselves, their greatness, to step into this space, get to be in your splash zone.
Mhm.
You guys,
So
can I ask
beautiful.
about the space of the continuum? Like, will it be like Zoom meetings, or you said it's not on Facebook?
Yes, absolutely. So absolutely, you may ask and I shall reply. Not absolutely, it's on Facebook. It is on Facebook right now. But the energy has just been like so schleppy on there that, you know, and Nova recognized that, thank goodness, and brought the energy to move off, because I was like, I'll move, but I just I couldn't do it. So it's founded on this amazing network that I have scouted because I have needed so much help. And that was like really clear when in 2016 I was getting all of these like visions and directives, and I have a super bossy gangster soul, you guys. So it's like, you know, it's not an option with this crazy bitch heart I have. And that's where I just like was on my knees for most of that year, just like, because all kinds of crazy shit initiations were happening. And I finally surrendered to like, okay, I need so much help if I'm gonna do this, and I have to do it. So I need to get help, and I need the best. And so I have, and I'm not an easy person to help. I mean, at least that was my story back then. And it was true, you know, like I'm a lot and I didn't have any boundaries. So yikes. So I've been navigating over the years, and it started before 2016, but it probably started in 2010, I would say. But basically, I have all these wonderful, wonderful people who've helped me. And since 2019, I have just, my bossy gangster spirit has been like, you need to share these people. You need to bring them in. They're part of the team, and you need to work with as a team and do group work. I do really deep one-on-one work as well, but that's like not for everybody. And there are other, you know, ways to interact. So the structure of it is that every month I'm featuring one of these amazing practitioners, and they're called Wayshowers. And they are creating an offering. I'm paying them. So it's not like a favor deal, you know, like I'm actually like, I like paying them to come into our community and create a fantastic offering. And my invitation to them is like, you can do whatever you want. Like, if there's that thing that you're just the best at and you want to share that with us, or it's that thing that you've been like really wanting to do and try, like come and do it with us. So last month we had White Wolf. We created Ceremony of the Soul's Evolution, which is a ceremony to complete our ancestral healing, because that's what we're seeing is happening right now. Like we are like 99% of the way there. And I actually think that since the equinox, that might have been it, you guys. Like, and whatever else we're doing with our ancestral wounds is integration, to be honest. And our fractal is on the front lines of this work, you know, representing like many, many ancestral lines. And then I'm the Wayshower for this month, and this is the offering. And I haven't quite decided who it's going to be for next month, but I can tell you that I'm really excited about David Schwendeman, who is one of my coaches. Um, he is like a problem destroyer. Like, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have 90 minutes, 2 hot seats, I think, and 2 people can come and represent and just bring their impossible problem. And and like when I say problem, it doesn't have to be something that's wrong necessarily. It can be like, well, what do you want to create? And like you're just like, don't understand the math, like how it could work, and he'll just obliterate it. You like get on the hot seat and just be ready for it to just go away. And those people will be representing for other people and to see how that works. Oh, I see that she took off. So yeah. It's kind of funny because I'm answering her question, but now she's gone. But we are 30 minutes over. So yeah, these will each be campfires of their own. And like Nova said, the campfire, there will be a campfire for this offering. And we're so mind meld, Nova. Like that had occurred to me earlier. And then, in my rightness, it just totally floated away. So I'm glad that you caught it. Because I had this vision of like all the people who are going to share their vision, that were here with us in the quantum field, over time in the group, sharing their videos and their writing about it. And so,
Yeah. I also had an idea. I have to sleep on it because I'm emotional, but I also feel drawn toward just spontaneous Zoom calls. We can maybe plan some too, but I just loving just like gathering like this and just,
yeah.
Feeding each other and feeding off of each other and just in this flowy way of being. And one of my pieces as part of this initiating the actual group itself so that we can all gather, have a space to gather. But also then after that is being one of the stewards of cultivating community together. And so one of them feels like having spontaneous Zooms and just having opportunities to just get on video and just talk with each other and bond and connect and share and, so yeah.
So, and that's like the Nova campfire, so it's like once you're initiated into the space there, and we're going to have all this outlined in there. But, it's designed to be a place of high sovereignty and creative license. So it's like you can wiggle around and offer what you want to offer. If you want to be like, I'm going to have a Zoom call and here's what it's for, you can invite people to that. And play with that. So, and it's like the Wayshowers are the people that I've identified are like official leaders in this space, that there's room for other people to try their stuff out, and come up in this family. So Alima's like, I feel like she's teasing us. Where's the platform if not on Facebook? Okay, so here it's on Mighty Networks, whereas like you can have through Mighty Networks, they have a structure where you can create a social network and even like access it through the app, through an app on your phone. So we are still setting it up right now. So the offer that we're putting out to you all who have registered for this is that in the next couple of weeks, as we are refining and preparing the space for everyone, and Halima, you're already in, so this doesn't, you're in. But like for those of you who have not offered your presence yet officially, if you join us in this time, you get this special deal. If you pay 122 in full, that you're just in for the rest of the year. And then around the 1st, I think we'll be opening up the membership directly through Mighty Networks, and we'll be letting everybody in at that point. So it's like right now we have our little, heavy Facebook group. And I have, email lists, so you'll get notifications about, the next Wayshower, and I'll outline all these things we're saying too on this call in the email you get with the replay. So we'll make it clear we're still surfing the mystery a little bit as we're just grounding the actual sanctuary at the moment. But yeah, we'll be live probably April 1st.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we'll have all of our
Mhm.
like welcome videos and tutorials and, concierge.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, we sure did that. Yeah, Pascal, yeah, definitely take an Epsom bath and get some rest and be gentle with yourselves in the coming days. This is still integrating, and I'm here if if you feel you need some more support, or if you're just like, is this normal? You feel free to reach out to me, on probably on Facebook, but however you know how to reach me is fine. So thank you so much, everyone.
Each of you.
Right, we are
So good.
complete.
Thank you. Mm.